you look around this locker room, there's quite a few guys who have been in big games, on big stages. I mean, does that kind of maybe experience and wisdom filter out through all the guys into some of the younger guys and not just one person?
Yeah, in some ways, yeah, I definitely think so. I think in other ways, too, you have to experience it for yourself to really get a true feel for what a playoff game in the NFL is like.
Go ahead. Just a question. I mean, the fans have been, crazy all year long. Is there any certain instructions that you guys might have for them going into the game this week? Because they don't know how to act and they haven't probably been here before.
Right. No, definitely be a little more rowdy than the regular season. Preferably, this is my personal request, is to get loud as the quarterback is getting in the huddle, as opposed to after he breaks the huddle. So that's my request. But outside of that, just be really rowdy.
Okay.
How dangerous is that trio that they got there, the two receivers and then Kyron, obviously?
Yeah, really dangerous. You see, Puka breaking a lot of tackles. You see Kyron breaking a lot of tackles, and then Cooper Kupp just does what he does, and they have a great quarterback at helm. So they're hot right now, and we have them coming into town.
That's one thing you guys have been pretty good at as a defense is you have
not
a ton of missed tackles.
Right.
Like that about this match?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a focus this week. I think that they're have a ton of forced missed tackles in their game. So I think that's definitely a focus this week for us. And that's really weekly, like you mentioned. We're pretty good throughout the year, but we just have to keep it going into the playoffs.
How wary do you have to be about their eye candy?
Yeah, a lot of motions, a lot of turbos. That's just Sean McVay's offense. It's definitely it causes some confusion and some movement and run fits, and then where your pass coverage is. So it's definitely an added element that not every offense does.
Is it hard to maybe stay focused on what you need to do, seeing as how they do that so well?
Yeah, I think it adds an extra element of your vision and your movement, and they turbo this way and then run the other way. So it's definitely, you have to be on your P's and Q's.
You guys have been preparing for explosive passing offenses for 4 or 5 weeks in a row. It feels like maybe even longer. I guess just what are some similarities with the Rams and teams that you've played recently, and just how can those games help you go?
Right, I think that you look at Minnesota. Obviously, O'Connell comes from that system. Facing Green Bay as well. It's definitely every offense is different, and every, different personnel and different formations and things like that. But at the end of the day, I think the Rams do a really good job of running what they run, and they're really efficient about it, and they just do it really well. So that's really the difficulty in playing them, is that sometimes what's coming, but they run it so well that it's hard to stop. Anything else?
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Be too hard for us to overcome. So
a lot of people are talking about the firsts that are here. I mean, the first playoff game at Ford Field and all that kind of stuff. I mean, is there any message that you might want to get out to fans on how to act and what to do or how to help? I mean, because they haven't been here before either.
just go crazy. That's what we finna do. We finna just go crazy, play like our hair's on fire. So I don't know how to tell them how to act. This is my first one too. So yeah, I'm finna just go crazy. So they need to go crazy. It needs to be loud in there.
With guys getting into playoffs for the first time, I mean, everybody looks at Jared Goff to, get some wisdom or something like that. But, on second reflection, there's quite a few guys here who have that kind of big game experience. Yeah. Is it easy for that kind of advice to spill out of them and into some of the younger guys?
I wouldn't say it's exactly easy for it, because it's not an easy task to be able to win one of these games or get to the playoffs, most importantly. But just asking for like nuggets here and there, what kind of situation or how did they think in this type of situation or whatever, or when they were in this type of game. So a little stuff like that to pour out, yeah. But it's no blueprint to it. We have to go in there and we have to play together as a team. And we got to play hard. We got to fight like we do every week. Obviously, this is a lot different because it's the playoffs. Intensity is a lot higher. But there's no written blueprint to it. You got to go out there and play ball. So.
What are you seeing on film from Matthew Stafford? I mean, fans know of him from years past, but I mean, what are you seeing on film for this year?
Yeah, Matthew Stafford. He's still playing like Matthew Stafford, like he always has. He makes all the throws that he needs to make. What we got to do is we got to get to him. We got to get to the quarterback. If we get to him, we can't throw the ball. I wouldn't say it's as simple as that, but that's a good way to put it. We got to get to him because he can make all those throws. He's still Matthew Stafford, for sure.
Are there guys maybe walking through this locker room, this building, rubbing their hands saying, oh, man, it's playoff time, I'm here? Or is it just like, hey, man, let's pack your briefcase and let's just handle business this week?
It's like a mixture of both because, you still want that energy, oh, yeah, this is the playoffs. Like, we're here. Let's do this. But it's also like let's go to work. Let's prepare like how we've always prepared every week. And let's just do what we do. But it's really a mixture of both, and I think it's good because that keeps the energy up. Like I was saying, the intensity is going to be a lot different because it's the playoffs. And we need that energy from everybody. We need everybody lit that, hey, we're in the playoffs now. Like, let's go ahead and do this. We're right here. Let's go do it. So it's a little mixture of both, I would say, but not in a bad way.
When do you think it'll really settle in that you're in the playoffs?
Probably when that game starts, but honestly, right now, we're so locked in on keeping this like a regular week, preparing like how we normally do. It's kind of hard to, but once you leave the building or something like that, when I'm watching film at home and I'm like, oh, wow, this is for the playoffs. This is a little different. So it just makes me lock in a lot more, but I think it'll settle in once we're in the game.
You said the intensity ramps up. Is that during the game? Because
That's period. That's just all around the whole week. Because, you lose in the playoffs, that's it. So, you feel me? There's no next week or week after that you're looking forward to. This is just one and done. So we got to be on all P's and Q's throughout the whole week. So. Appreciate y'all.
Playoffs and all that, everybody gets their eyes get a little wider, but is it the same kind of preparation for you guys going into this game as it was for regular season games?
I think so. I think naturally it'll be a little bit more focused and detail-oriented things that you got to pay attention to more. But everybody here pretty locked in, from both sides, and all the way from the coaches all the way to the down to us, and we understand how important this game is, and we're just gonna prepare how we've been preparing for the rest of the year, the whole year.
A lot of times people will look at Jared Goff as the guy to talk to about playoff experience and that kind of thing. But there's a lot of guys in this locker room that have big game experience, playoff experience. Does some of that knowledge maybe work its way down and through into the younger guys now?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I've been to the playoffs one time. We lost in the first round, but just that whole atmosphere of that game was completely different than what it was in the regular season. You got the whole world watching you now. I know other games, it ain't that many other games that's on, so it's just an opportunity that I know everybody in this locker room understands, like what's ahead of us and what's in front of us, and I know how we are and what we'll do.
On a lighter side, are there maybe any instructions for the fans? Because they haven't been in this atmosphere either, and they may not know how to act.
Come as loud as they've been and then some.
David, the stats for you this year jump off the page. Best stats by far, but how does it stack up for you?
It's cool, but it's over now, It don't really matter anymore. I look at it, we back at the beginning of the season now. And I got to be available and be able to be at my best self at this time of the year so that we can go as deep as we need to go and get to the Super Bowl and win that thing like we plan on doing. But, it just takes me focusing on the details and being able to be exactly who I know I'm capable of being.
What's the best David look like?
You're going to see.
He looks good, that guy. That guy looks good. Thanks.
Josh said the Rams are 3-7 or 7-3 in the playoffs under Sean McVay. Just when it becomes playoff time, is there anything that he does that separates him from other coaches to help you guys keep that consistency in the playoffs?
I ain't with the Rams no more. I'm lying. I don't know what he's doing now.
Has it pretty much been the same business as usual for him?
Same. Oh yeah, it's just another week, man. Like I said, playoffs is who can lower the mistakes. Who can have least amount of mistakes and who can execute their plays the most, and that's what it's going to be about.
It's pretty even keel. You don't see him getting up extra to play McVay, play your old team, and I don't know if you do that either.
Another game.
Momentum entering the playoffs, though, like ending on a high note. Can that help y'all entering, this first game, though?
For sure. And then shit, it all kind of helped with us being at home as well, having that home crowd.
Just wondering your thought when you were with the Rams. What was it like playing for McVay?
It was cool. Good guy, good coach.
The organization ties both sides.
Honestly, I didn't think too much into it. I think it's more of a question for JG and Stafford when he get here. But me, I did my time there, and now I'm a Lion. So
Got a lot of young guys on this team. Do you feel like they're going to be ready for the moment?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. These guys, they ain't never too big for moment's never too big for them. These guys know how to perform and they know how to execute.
Looking at their secondary.
Good players, good players. They good players.
Appreciate it. Thanks.